My parents drove 9 hours to my office last Tuesday, sat in my lobby until 6 p.m., and handed me a notarized letter asking for $300K to save their lake house from foreclosure. Mom whispered, "We raised you. You owe us." I slid her my own notarized statement when she'd legally disowned me at my grandpa's funeral in front of 43 guests. What Dad admitted next made my assistant close the blinds. I'm an estate attorney. Intrafamily trust disputes. The irony has never been lost on me. My assistant knocked. "Couple downstairs. Say they're your parents. Been here since morning." I told her to bring them to conference room B in 15 minutes. I needed them to wait. I'd been tracking the foreclosure for 6 months. I knew the auction date and the exact gap between what they owed and what they could refinance. $300,000. Almost to the dollar of what they'd taken from my trust. I walked them down the hall without a hug. Mom tried. I offered my hand. Conference room B. Glass walls, cherry wood table. I sat across from them, not beside them. Mom set a manila envelope on the table. Red string, notary seal on the corner. She untied it slowly and slid 3 pages across. Page 1. After decades of love and provision. Page 2. Lake house in pre-foreclosure. $412,000 owed. Auction July 15th. Page 3. My name above a blank signature line. $300,000. July 8th. I read it twice. Mom leaned forward. Voice dropping to the register I remembered from every hard conversation of my childhood. "We sacrificed everything for you. You owe us." I opened my folder, the blue one. 7 years in the making. First, her 2019 declaration of estrangement, signed and notarized in front of 43 guests at my grandfather's funeral. She'd pre-hired the notary. She read it aloud. 8 words. "You're not my daughter anymore." She used it to contest his will. I kept the filing, the dismissal order, everything. I slid it across the same way she'd sent her demand. She stared at it, didn't reach for it. Second, my grandfather's letter, mailed from hospice 12 days before he died. He'd caught every withdrawal, $418,000, and written every date, every amount in his own hand. Below the list, 4 sentences. The last, "They'll come for you eventually. When they do, you make it count." Third, the trust statements. I'd been 25 when I found out what was left of a $480,000 trust he'd funded when I was 5. $41,000. The withdrawal history told the story. $280,000 out in August 2010 alone. 3 documents on the table. Her demand, her estrangement declaration, my grandfather's letter. I looked at Dad. "Do you remember Thanksgiving 2018? He looked at his hands. Mom cut in. "Bill, don't." He moved her hand off his arm, firmly, like removing something that had been resting there for 40 years. He started talking. "The lake house down payment, August 2010, $280,000. My money, the boat, 2012, $46,000. My money, the renovation, the screen porch, the dock repair, 2014, $85,000. My money, the credit card payoff before the equity loan in 2016, $35,000. My money." I always told myself we'd pay it back, he said. "Every year. Not $1, not one." He pressed his hands flat. They kept shaking. "The boat sank 2 months after we bought it. Engine fire. We didn't tell you because we didn't want questions about the insurance check. $42,000. Used that on the renovation too. I knew your grandfather figured it out in 2017. I didn't pick up the phone. I let him die without picking up the phone." The room went quiet. My assistant read my face through the bullpen glass and walked to the blind cord, pulled it, slat by slat, until the room was closed off on the floor. "I didn't say it's okay. I didn't say I forgive you." Mom made one last attempt, voice rising behind the closed blinds. "We raised you. We fed you. 30 years. Do you understand what you're doing to us? You're going to lose the lake house because of decisions you made over 16 years. I said. "None of those decisions were mine." I picked up her demand letter and set it back down in the center of the table. "I'm not signing this. I was never going to." I slid a business card to Dad. "Senior partner, foreclosure restructuring. Call him tomorrow. He'll tell you what's realistic." Dad took the card. Didn't look at Mom. "Thank you," he said. Mom stood. At the door, she turned. Started to say something. "Good night," I said. She left. Dad followed without looking back. I walked to the window and pulled the blinds open. K Street below, late sun on the glass of the building across the street. My grandfather's letter was still on the table. I picked it up and read the last line. "They'll come for you eventually. When they do, you make it count." I put it back in the blue folder. The $300,000 demand letter I left where it was, centered on the cherry wood. Notary seal up. The cleaning crew would find it at 7. They'd assume it was a draft someone forgot. It was.